This is IGN. Coming up, why Nintendo made the Switch 2, Mario Kart World, and everything else so expensive. Welcome to your IGN Daily Update. But first, the first trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's 2 was screened at Blumhouse and Universal CinemaCon presentation on Wednesday before being released online. Producer Jason Blum made it clear to attendees that, unlike the original film, the sequel will open only in theaters on December 5th, 2025, and not day and date on Peacock. You can watch the trailer at IGN.com. Based on Scott Cawthon's blockbuster game series, the original Five Nights at Freddy's was Blumhouse's biggest box office hit when it opened in theaters in 2023, as well as the highest-grossing horror film of that year. Emma Tammy returns to direct the sequel, and Scott Cawthon are producing. Actors Josh Hutcherson, Elizabeth Lail, Piper Rubio, and Matthew Lillard all reprised their respective roles. And the boys are back in town, and by the boys, I mean Stan, Kyle, Kenny, and Cartman. South Park has finally announced a return for season 27, and it looks as though our favorite Colorado crew is dealing with, well, the state of things. And by dealing with it, I mean barely. The beloved animated series debuted a new trailer announcing the upcoming season, but cleverly psyched the audience into thinking it was a dramatic sneak peek at a new drama. The intense editing and music added to the ominous vibes, until Stan's dad Randy and his sister Shelly pop up on screen and he asks her if she's been taking drugs. "Because I think it could really help you," he says as they sit on her bed with a Wicked movie poster in the background. The teaser reveals that the season will premiere on July 9th, 2025 on Comedy Central, over 2 years after the end of season 26. The series has aired 3 specials since then: 2023's South Park Joining the Pandaverse and South Park Not Suitable for Children, and 2024's South Park The End of Obesity. South Park celebrated its 25th anniversary in 2022, having debuted on Comedy Central to near instant acclaim back in 1997. This week's Nintendo Direct and subsequent info dump answered many burning questions we've been asking about the Nintendo Switch 2, such as launch lineup and release date. Among those was the question of price, not only for the system itself, but also for the games and accessories we're going to need alongside it. And it's a good thing that the rest of the Direct was so enjoyable, because Nintendo needed to do some work to justify some of these prices. With the Nintendo Switch 2 with Mario Kart World bundled in, priced at $499.99, a Switch 2 Pro controller at $79.99, and items like a Nintendo Switch 2 all-in-one carrying case priced $79.99, it's a lot to dish out to play Nintendo games, even assuming most people are just going for the console, a game or two, and maybe a spare controller. Most notable in that list of prices is what's going on with the console itself. $450 isn't far off what a bunch of analysts told us the system was likely to cost when asked earlier this year. They predicted $400, but a few said it could likely go higher depending on various economic and technological factors. But even more interesting is Mario Kart Tour. It's $80. That makes it the most expensive we've ever seen a AAA game cost without belonging to some sort of deluxe edition, and it's certainly the highest Nintendo's ever gone. You can buy it in a bundle with the system to get $30 taken off the game price, but the $80 price tag has a lot of Nintendo fans concerned at the rapidly rising prices of games and what this may mean for the future. Didn't we just see games start to go from $60 to $70 a few years ago? That hurt bad enough without bumping it up even higher so soon after. So what's happening here? Why are the Nintendo Switch 2 and Mario Kart World priced the way they are? Will we see more game price hikes in the future? As usual, we asked expert analysts to explain. Here's what they said. Even though most of the analysts we spoke to were the same folks who predicted a $400 price point when we chatted in January, no one seemed surprised at the $50 extra on the end of the announcement. Collectively, the analysts offered various reasons for the higher-than-expected price, largely agreeing on the fairly simple confluence of multiple factors: tariffs, manufacturing costs, and competition. Joost van Drunen, NYU Stern professor and author of Super Used Playlist, calls the $449.99 pricing a strategic balancing act on Nintendo's part that reflects a mixture of increased manufacturing costs as well as ongoing uncertainty as to whether or not, and if so, what tariffs the Trump administration in the United States is going to levy on electronics. Nintendo appears to be building in a buffer against these potential trade barriers while ensuring they maintain their traditional positive margin on hardware. Everyone agreed that even though the Nintendo Switch 2 and Mario Kart World pricing is a bit of a shock, it's not going to affect sales of the console, at least not at first. Let's just hope no other publishers get any bright ideas about $100 games next. That's your IGN Daily Update. My name is Tony Jackson, and if you want more news on your favorite games and entertainment topics, make sure to visit us at IGN.com. You can also download our free app on your phone or console and subscribe to our weekly podcasts through the podcast service of your choice.
Spoken Layer.